How's it going, guys? This week we're going to work on resurrecting this 1987 Pontiac Trans. Hey everybody, story on this car is this belongs to a good friend of mine. It's a car that his dad bought, passed on to him. He now wants to pass on to his son. That said, he parked the car several years back with presumably a bad fuel pump and just never gotten around to fixing it. And now it needs a number of things, but for starters, we're going to work on getting her running. So we're going to get a new battery put in. We're going to check fuel pressure to see if it does have fuel pressure, and if so, if it has adequate fuel pressure, and we'll go from there. But overall, the goal is to get this car not only running, but get it to where it's present back on the street again. It'll run and drive great, and we'll fix a few of the cosmetic issues as well. One of the headlights, I'm not sure which yet, does not work. No, they flip up, and one of them is not doing that. The center console, there's a cluster in there that shows like a diagnostic center. Apparently it's not working, along with a plethora of other things. So we'll get to work on all that stuff. So without further ado, let's get started. Oh, one more thing. I just wanted to mention, so last week I got the last parts that I presumably needed for my plasma table, sorry. And that's where I started that video off, was getting that system all set up and ready to go. And then I encountered an issue that I'm still have not resolved. The system requires a signal from the plasma cutter that it's starting before it'll start its cut. So, and I can actually show you real quick. Well, I guess I'll stop for just a sec. So, and what would happen is the plasma cutter would kick on, but then I would get an error message because as far as the system, the operating system was concerned, plasma cutter wasn't on. So then I kind of went in and I having a hard time. I spent about a day trying to figure that out, day and a half, and just checking wires, trying to diagnose the issue, trying to find information online. And finally, I was kind of like, okay, the heck with it. I'm just gonna ignore that safety. And so I started playing with the program in that regards. And you can see here, this is just a generic wheel spacer is what it's in the system as. But so it would start the arc and start cutting, no problem, but it would stop before it was completed. And sorry, on this one it would do that. On these ones, it would start this circle before it ever started arcing. So essentially, it's not cutting out the whole pattern. I played with timing. I told it to leave, the arc on, and increase the time in which the arc would be on, but it didn't seem to make a difference, and I guess I'm not smart enough to figure it out yet. So need a little bit more time and research on that, but as a result, the only footage I had was kind of a quick, like 5-minute segment of me putting the whole system together and connecting wires. And then I spent through Saturday trying to figure out why the system wasn't working. And then I had other things that I had to take care of. So initially I just thought I was going to get the video out late, but inevitably I just decided that I didn't have anything prepared to work on, and I didn't really want to just kind of throw something together. So unfortunately I didn't put out a video last week, but that's the reason for that. I just wanted to explain it real quick, and we're going to get going on this car. Okay, so just turning the fuel system on. It was only getting like 20 psi, but when you actually crank it, it was popping up to 45 psi. So we're getting adequate fuel pressure. 40 to 47 psi is what I'm showing that this car needs fuel pressure wise. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and move on to other things. One of the other problems is can't imagine that the fuel that is in this thing is any good, so probably need to work on getting that siphoned out, and we'll put some fresh fuel in there. Depending on how much is in there. If there's not tons in there, we might be able to, well, we'll take a look. I thought I'd take you off time lapse for just a moment, show you a few things underneath the car. So this valance here is something that he wanted fixed, and part of the problem is, so we can replace this piece, but it's broke out here on the main bumper. So I'll talk to him and see what he wants to do. I can't, well, no. Yeah, it's part of the main skirting, but I think we can probably do some fixes. I can probably make a piece or buy a piece to repair that and get that put back the way it should be. Can't imagine he wants to replace the bumper. All of the sway bar links are shot. You can see there's no bushing left. Tie rods and ball joints seem okay. There's a little bit of slop, so might address that. Transmission mount is cracking, so we'll replace that. It may end up with a tail shaft leak. The rear exhaust needs to be replaced. See what he wants to do there. And I think he's got an oil pan leak going on. I think it's all in all not too bad. Same thing for the rear. That sway bar is not doing anything. I don't see any oil leaking down the shocks. That's usually a telltale sign of whether they're bad, but doesn't mean that they aren't already bad. But I think one of the main things we're gonna do is we're gonna replace all the fluids, just because this thing's been sitting so long, and you know, it's a few $100s on product, unfortunately, but for the peace of mind, I think it's well worth it. So I think we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I just thought I'd show you real quick what's going on underneath here, and we'll go ahead and get the oil changed and get the fuel drained out, get some new fresh fuel back in her, and we'll start looking into what's going on with her. We give her a tune-up, I think. Tell you guys, you have not lived until you've tried to change plugs in an 87 Pontiac Trans Am. Friggin', I guess all I got is just those, but it feels like I got more than those. There's so many sharp edges and everything's so tight, and I thought the driver's side was going to be the harder side, and that's kind of why I started there, because of all the blockage. But looking at it now, I don't know. I think the first 2 or 3 are going to be easier on this side, but I don't even know how to get that back one done. I'm sure that if you go by the book, which I have not checked, but I'm sure if you do, it tells you to remove a bunch of stuff. I know there's certain cars, I think Mustangs in particular, certain year Mustang, where it actually says that you need to just, you know, take the motor mount bolts out and raise the engine up. But anyways, one side is done. Plugs are all gapped and installed, and now we just got to get the other side done. So the plugs, for the most part, they're definitely fouled, but this is cylinder number 8, and plugs, for the most part, the gap's been fairly accurate. So this one is gapped at 55, called for 35 to 40, so that definitely is going to cause an issue with her. And you can see she's the worst out of the bunch. So this cylinder 7, for instance, gapped at 35. This cylinder 8 gapped at 55, 57, a little bit over 55. So anyways, this is why we're doing this. It's also a different plug, so I don't know what the deal is there, but this is an AC Delco, this is a Bosch, so at some point in time somebody did half a tune-up. I'm not sure, but all right, guys, we got 5 gallons of fuel added, which is, I run premium non-ethanol on my dirt bike, and I also run injector cleaner and everything in it. It's a fuel injected dirt bike. So that's the fuel that I put in there. Wires are all ran. I mean, they're pretty good the way they are. We might do a little bit of work to tuck them in, put some clips on there to make sure they don't move, but moment of truth, we'll see if she runs any better. Let's set her all the way down first. Yeah, like I was saying, guys, way better. So I think I'm gonna put the we'll put the air cleaner in because I got a new air cleaner. Put the air intake tube back on, and just pick her for just a gentle rip. Just kind of get her up to running temperature, drive her around a little bit, make sure she's gonna actually, you know, on the way back, not get on her, but you know, get on her a little bit to make sure she's actually gonna move. And yeah, we'll go from there. Hard to hold back. Although she's all over the place. Holy shit. You touch the steering wheel and she goes, and then she's shimmying like crazy. So I don't think we want to get these tires too warm. I mean, I looked at them. He was going to put new tires on, but the tires that were on here looked okay. So I looked them over and I didn't notice anything wrong with them, but you can definitely tell we have no sway bars right now, and we don't. They're shot. And again, this was just about making sure that she was going to run all right, but she's doing that. Like, I was actually not giving it too much throttle, and it was just trying to go, but we got a turn coming up here, and I think we're just going to creep along the side of the road because it is shimmying really bad. Last thing I want to do is blow a tire up. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend. Enjoy.